Today on Southern Accent Foods, I'll show you how to make these easy cherry and apple turnovers. They'll be a hit for breakfast or at your next brunch. You're going to be using store-bought frozen puff pastry. I learned how to make this stuff in pastry school, but I would never make it at home. Get a little bit of flour on your work surface, unfold your puff pastry, and give it a quick roll to smooth things out a bit. Get yourself a rotary knife, or as most people would say, a pizza cutter, and cut your puff pastry into 4 squares. Separate them out just a little bit. I'm going to do the cherry turnovers first. Spoon just a little bit of cherry pie filling, store-bought or homemade, into the center of each square of puff pastry. Try and get it off-center towards one of the corners because we're going to be folding these over into triangles. Put an egg into a small dish and stir it up to make your egg wash. Some people put a little bit of milk into their egg wash and some people add a little bit of water, but I only use eggs. I worked in a French patisserie under a French pastry chef, and he told me it's called egg wash for a reason. Only use eggs in your egg wash. Just paint a little bit along 2 edges to help seal the puff pastry when you fold it over. Now you're going to fold each piece along the diagonal to make a triangle. Try to keep the filling from oozing out, but it's not a tragedy if it happens. Press lightly with your fingers to seal it, and then take a fork and press in along the edges to make a scored design. Take a paring knife and cut a few slits into the top so that the steam can escape. We're going to repeat this whole process with apple pie filling to make the apple turnovers, but this time I'm making rectangles instead of triangles. You can use either filling to make either shape. Unfold the puff pastry and flatten it out just like before. Cut it into squares. Spoon the filling on top, this time working toward one of the long sides. Brush with the egg wash, fold the pastry over the top, and press to seal. Go ahead and give them a good forking to get that scored design along the edges. Get everything collected onto a sheet pan lined with parchment paper. Don't forget to add those slits with your paring knife. Give all the turnovers a brushing with the egg wash. This helps them brown in the oven and gives them a great glossy, caramelized looking finish. When everything is all prepped, get them into the center of a 400-degree Fahrenheit oven, that's about 205 degrees Celsius, and cook for 15 to 20 minutes until they're golden brown and delicious. Now we're going to go ahead and make the powdered sugar glaze. I used 8 ounces of powdered sugar here, but I ended up having way too much, so you can probably cut that amount in half and use 4 ounces. Squeeze in just a little bit of lemon juice, and then add in about 1 tablespoon of milk. Stir everything to combine. I can't really give an exact measurement here, you just have to stir and keep adding a few drops of milk at a time until you get it to the right consistency. It's better to have this glaze be a little too thick than too thin, because if you let it get too thin, you won't be able to add more powdered sugar to correct it. Keep stirring and adjusting until you get a consistency that falls from your spoon and forms what are called ribbons on the surface. After your turnovers are cooked, get them onto a cooling rack if you have one. If not, just get them onto another baking sheet because you don't want the bottoms to get too brown if they stay on the hot sheet pan for too long. I've taken my powdered sugar glaze and put it into a small plastic zip bag to pipe it, but you could use a pastry bag if you have one, or you could just spoon it over the top of everything if you want to keep it simple. I like this zigzag pattern. It kind of looks like the pastries you can get from the shite fast food place. And that's really all there is to it. Cherry and apple turnovers with store-bought puff pastry and canned or homemade pie fillings. These are a cinch to make. They're great for any springtime brunch, or Dad can get the kids involved to help make an easy special treat for Mom on Mother's Day. They're always a hit. Thank you for watching, and click on another one of my videos here.